Welcome to my channel, Tech Set Go. It all starts with one simple question. How far can a tiny camera really go? For years, action cameras have chased numbers, more pixels, higher frame rates, sharper stabilization. But somewhere along the race, we forgot the reason these cameras existed in the first place. They weren't made to impress with specs. They were made to capture the wild, unpredictable, chaotic pulse of life in motion. From mountain bikers carving through dust and rock, to surfers cutting through waves under a glowing sunset, from travelers hanging off cliff edges to capture a single breathtaking shot. These stories were never about megapixels. They were about emotion. In 2025, DJI has stepped back into that arena with a mission that feels less like a product launch and more like a revolution. The DJI Osmo Action 6 isn't just an action camera. It's a statement, a declaration that small gear can still tell big stories. This device redefines what it means to be a creator, a storyteller, and an adventurer. With every innovation built inside its compact frame, the Osmo Action 6 feels like a glimpse into the future of content creation. A world where you don't need bulky gear or complex setups to create cinematic magic. At the heart of this little powerhouse lies its biggest secret, a massive one in CMOS sensor. The kind of component you usually find in professional mirrorless cameras, not tiny waterproof action cams. That leap in sensor size changes everything. Low light performance, color depth, dynamic range, and detail reproduction reach levels that make even high-end cameras pause. Imagine filming a midnight street ride, with every neon reflection perfectly captured, or a mountain sunrise where shadows and highlights blend with cinematic precision. The Osmo Action 6 gives you that power in the palm of your hand. This is not about convenience anymore. It's about merging portability with performance. For vloggers, filmmakers, travelers, or thrill seekers, this is the camera that finally says you don't have to compromise. And that sensor is just the beginning. DJI is pushing limits even further with 8K video recording at 30 frames per second, a milestone in the world of compact cameras. 8K gives you incredible flexibility to crop, zoom, or reframe without losing sharpness, essential for editors and creators who demand total control in post-production. But it doesn't stop there. You get 5.3 thousand at 60 frames per second for hyper-detailed action, 4K at 120 frames per second for creamy slow-motion cinematic sequences, and 1080p at 240 frames per second for those heart-pounding freeze-frame moments. Picture a snowboarder mid-air, snowflakes suspended around him, every detail alive. That's the power of DJI's image processing engine. For travel vloggers shooting B-roll or filmmakers blending drone footage with ground shots, this versatility transforms storytelling. The Osmo Action 6 isn't an action cam anymore. It's a pocket cinema rig. Of course, clarity means nothing without stability, and this is where DJI's genius shines again. With Rocksteady 4.0 and AI-enhanced Horizon Steady 2.00, the Osmo Action 6 delivers footage so smooth it looks like it's gliding on rails. Whether you're sprinting through dense forest trails, riding downhill on gravel, or filming from a dune buggy speeding across desert sands, your footage remains perfectly level and shake-free. DJI stabilization doesn't just react, it predicts movement, adjusting in real time to keep everything balanced. The result is footage that feels natural, immersive, cinematic, and free. You no longer need a gimbal. You're the gimbal. And this freedom to move and film instinctively opens new creative possibilities for vloggers, sports enthusiasts, and explorers who thrive on spontaneity. G didn't stop there. It also introduced something subtle, yet game-changing. You can now start or stop recording, change modes, or monitor battery life straight from your Apple Watch or Garmin without ever touching the camera. For solo creators, that's revolutionary. But DJI's vision extends further. They're integrating biometric and environmental data overlays, so your heart rate, speed, altitude, and GPS trail appear directly on your footage. Imagine running a marathon, mountain biking, or skydiving, and seeing your real-time stats visualized on screen. It turns every clip into a living digital diary of your adventure, a true fusion of performance and storytelling. Then there's endurance. DJI knows that a DEAD battery can ruin even the most epic moment. So, they built a power system designed for long shoots in extreme conditions. The Osmo Action 6 boasts up to 30% longer runtime compared to its predecessor, with smarter power management that adapts to shooting mode and temperature. Add faster charging, better cold weather reliability, up to 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and you get a device that simply doesn't quit. Wi-Fi 6 and BLUETOOTH 5.1. Ensure lightning-fast file transfers and rock-solid connections for wireless streaming or remote monitoring. And with USB-C video output, you can connect directly to external recorders or monitors, making it ideal for live streaming, podcast production, or cinematic setups. This camera isn't just made for action, it's made for creators who want a complete production ecosystem that fits in their pocket. Built tough, the Osmo Action 6 carries DJI's rugged DNA. It's waterproof up to 18 meters without a case. It's resistant to dust and shocks, and designed to survive the harshest conditions. Its hydrophobic lens coating keeps water droplets away. Its glass is scratch resistant, and its new anti-fog design prevents condensation during underwater shoots. Whether you're diving beneath coral reefs, snowboarding in blizzards, or filming desert storms, the Osmo Action 6 keeps going. Durability isn't a feature, it's a promise. And while it's engineered like a tank, its design remains sleek, compact, and familiar. The dual-color touchscreens, one at the front, one at the back, are brighter and more responsive than ever. The front display now offers full touch control, making vlogging and framing incredibly easy. Every inch of its design feels refined, functional, and purpose-driven. Internally, a new image processor optimized for AI scene recognition and advanced color science helps the camera adjust seamlessly to changing environments. Whether you're moving from sunlight to shade or shooting under artificial light, the colors remain natural and balanced. The inclusion of 10-bit D-Log-M color means you can now color grade your footage professionally. Pulling details from shadows and highlights, just like a cinema camera, HDR video brings out even more vibrancy and realism, giving your videos that professional finish straight out of the camera. For editors working with Premiere Pro, Final Cut, or DaVinci Resolve, this flexibility is priceless. And when you step back to see the big picture, it's clear that DJI isn't just building another GoPro rival. They're reshaping the creative landscape. In a world dominated by influencers, filmmakers, and digital storytellers, everyone needs gear that adapts to their imagination. The Osmo Action 6 is that gear. It's powerful enough for professionals, yet intuitive enough for beginners. For vloggers, it's the perfect all-rounder. For filmmakers, it's a stealthy backup. For travelers, it's a pocket companion that records your journey without getting in the way. GoPro may have started the action cam movement, but DJI is redefining it with intelligence, artistry, and ambition. Every feature of the Osmo Action 6 reflects a philosophy: the belief that technology should enhance storytelling, not overshadow it. A bigger sensor isn't about bragging rights, it's about preserving memories with cinematic soul. 8K recording isn't just a spec, it's a creative playground for reframing your world. Rock-steady stabilization isn't about smoothness, it's about freedom. The confidence to move, fall, and still capture beauty. Smartwatch control isn't about convenience. It's about creative independence. And longer battery life isn't just endurance. It's the assurance that your story won't end before you want it to. As we move deeper into 2025, one thing is clear. G isn't chasing anyone anymore. We're creating a new standard where compact doesn't mean compromise and adventure doesn't mean limits. The Osmo Action 6 is a storyteller's dream, a traveler's companion, and an artist's secret weapon. Whether you're filming cinematic travel diaries, high-octane sports, or quiet moments with friends, it adapts to every story you want to tell. This camera reminds us why we fell in love with filmmaking in the first place. Not for specs, but for stories. So as this new chapter in creative technology unfolds, the only question that remains is simple. What story will you tell with it? Because when you hold the DJI Osmo Action 6 in your hand, you're not just holding a camera, you're holding the future of this UAL storytelling.